Now stack that Rod of Ages first. We got a little boys. Maple, however, playing a beautiful 1-2-3 command protect as well, stopping Xie's back, which means he might be able to just get this wave to the turret as you see them approaching out of the base. If he gets a good push on, he denies CS, but he's leaving.
Yeah, early on in the game as well, he has the teleport, so he's able to take a bad trade early and come back in lane, but mainly he is going to have less 1v1 trading potential and is opting for more global presence on this Corki. Right now he's going to try to get that lane advantage as well, loses the trade early, gets a free base.
That teleport is in. Condi is also doing the same inside the jungle of Flash Wolves to see if he can get a deep ward in here, reading where the minion waves are. He's not going to be slightly seen by the bottom wave coming in and gets in unseen.
There are pings coming out from the Flash Wolves telling Betty and Swordart to be careful. They have suspicions that the jungler is around there, and you can see Karsa pathing his way towards the bot side. Shen yet to be a level 6, so there isn't that safety insurance for the Flash Wolves. But for the time being, Condi will back away.
Yeah, Flash Wolves healthy enough. They have been denied off a lot of CS, but they haven't been poked, which for now prevents Team WE from actually being able to threaten that guy.
Yep. Maple calling for assistance there, gets a help on the back from Karsa. Good push here from MMD on the top side. WE is going to have to remember how much they want to go hard because there is a Shen on that side. MMD could definitely save something on the bot side. They could throw Mystic and Ben off of the aggression they've had so far. 15 CS in the lead. Looks like he's getting much of the clip that he had last game.
Keep your eyes on the positioning of Mystic there. Notice how when he was trading with Betty, he was always running downwards. And that's because he's consistently avoiding the positioning of the feathers from Betty, because as Xayah, you want to be maxing that E first, and that's where a lot of your laning damage comes from. So even though the trade initially looked good for Betty, because he never actually landed the E, that meant that Mystic was able to come out on top of the end.
Firing just outside of turret range as well, repositioning after the feathers go out to dodge that damage you're talking about. And Mystic again resets, and they'll have a siege minion on this wave to actually harass with. We're going to see Karsa come down for this.
And you can see the wave clearer matching is a lot better. They haven't gotten much free time for that, but they are constantly pushed up, and that's when Karsa's going to try and get that gank off.
Maybe they go for Ben, but no, they go straight for Mystic. That's going to be his barrier down, so he can stay. Still has the flash on both sides, a good heal from Ben, and the heal from Swordart comes out on the initiation.
Great polymorph there from Swordart. It allows the knock-up combo to come out from Karsa, so they get a lot of damage down onto Mystic. He is forced to use the barrier and heal, but now he's back on the offensive.
And they got the heal down as well, so they get barrier heal out of the other side in the extended play of the gank. That gank actually hurt Flash Wolves more than it helped him, because it's a 2-for-2 summoner trade, and it made them opt into more trades than they were otherwise taking in the lane.
And these choices of damage can be whenever WE wants. You hit that Zephyr, you hit a Peacemaker, you're going to win the trade.
And it's on a cannon wave too. That's extra turret shots, which means this turret has taken a beating. This is the type of lane so far that Team WE has wanted. They still need to continue to keep it going so they can break the turret.
And I love seeing this, chat, this evolution of the meta, WE finding a creative way to just change how we play the game, you know? It's not about just mining gold, it's not about making sure that you can, it's fine, I can blind pick the Twitch, I can blind pick the Cogmore, I can scale into late game because we're always going to have fights. Team WE is saying, no, we're going to just force towers down and punish you early.
And it's so interesting how we can say, man, Caitlyn Janna, I'm so excited for this.
Right?
Because 3 months ago, we were like, man, Caitlyn Janna, every game, you hit double zeal late game on Caitlyn, and that's all you're playing for, boring late game strategies. And it's now this early game siege pick, but that's because the 2-turret snowball with teams this good is really important. And people have gone so far down one end of the road of just trying to farm up that punishing you during that path can become more rewarding. So I feel like if you're in the meta of the Thresh or the Braum 80 carries with the normal other 80 carries like this, Caitlyn Janna doesn't work. But when you're in a gold rune support meta and you get to have the Caitlyn advantage, Team WE is at least making you consider the strategy, and they're the ones trying to do it.
And it seems like they know what they want here. Again, getting that Caitlyn Janna lane and switching out something else that can help poke with that. She had the Jace last time. Now they have the Corki, still keeping this composition somewhat together, all the same from last time. Working out so far in the early game, as usual. About 25 CS lead in the bot lane as of right now, so Mystic may even look to extend that deficit, or I should say advantage we just saw.
Yeah, and it's not just about the 25 CS lead. Like, by itself, this isn't worthy of making the pick. It's all about whether or not they can get the turrets rolling, because that's the main thing that gives the team the advantage they need.
Starting a little bit of bottom coverage for that Vision as well. Karsa's going to answer with the same as mid laners return back and Sheen for Xie. So a bit of a power spike here if they do decide to get head-to-head fights going on.
When you speak about power spikes, you got to look at level spikes too. Now MMD is that level 7. He has the ultimate primed and ready. If WE try to force a roam down bot, Flash Wolves are in a position to answer. They have to be respectful of Xie having the package, which means he'll get to bot lane much faster than Maple will be able to, on top of the teleport that he has as well. But at the very least, it's something that Flash Wolves can use to try and slow WE down.
No sweepers just yet, so it's going to be the use of these Vision wards to try and make something happen. Vision for both. Karsa says hello, knocks up Condi. Looks like Betty's going to be just on the outside, but Condi gets the slow in, forces his flash as Karsa ults in. It looks like this one will fizzle out, but mid laners may find a fight here.
Yeah, Condi got very aggressive there, and after his missed body slam, had to back away. Matching Condi very well. He was there well before Condi was, knowing the gank would be coming.
Nice hit on the scrying orb from Karsa. The scry's bloom, I should say. And they are going to figure out that W has a few too many in the river there. They'll back off and keep farming out the lanes. A little bit of early action here, but Flash Wolves, remember, getting that first blood quite a bit. Maybe not this time.
Xie looking to continue forcing Maple back. He had a good trade against Maple in the river, which now results in him being relatively low. Only the Sword Boots going for that early tier 2 so that he can try and match some of the roaming power that Xie has. Also haven't mentioned yet that an Inferno Drake is on the board with pushing bot and pushing mid. WWE have their eyes on.
Yeah, the steal is possible. The Shen ultimate could also come in, but no Cataclysm is there for Karsa. Condi would have to fall off this one, though. If Flash Wolves decide to collapse, you'd think.
Almost reset. Looks like they're going to hold it on this one. MMD backing off to try and get his ultimate on. Teleport from 957, and that's going to be just over behind the red buff. Airborne goes Condi. Condi stays alive. MMD in the middle of the fight, and Condi finally falls to the hands of MMD. Dragon Infernal to WE, but they do lose their jungler.
Beautiful taunt flash from MMD to hit multiple members, but the shockwave from Maple was used only onto Condi. Flash Wolves, they had a great setup, they had a great plan, but I feel like the execution was a little short of what it could have overall been.
And it was an incredibly risky play by Team WE. The fact that Condi still managed to get the smite with his dying breath makes it arguably worth it, especially if Xie can get a kill here.
Heal, command protect. Flashes out of the Foss that might have been a little too far away, but still safe plays as Xie comes in strong right off the teleport.
Yeah, chunked himself out, but he's still got the call to be able to stay up. We're going to watch this one more time. Flash Wolves, again, probably should have gone slightly sooner. They can win this with the Shen ultimate and kill Condi before he has the chance to be able to steal that. But as you mentioned, the taunt flash from the Shen to interrupt the Ben ultimate on Janna, and they get the kill.
Got to give some credit there to Ben, using his heal onto Condi to keep him alive. Immediately followed up by the ultimate as well. So they really did keep their jungler for alive as long as possible. And his focus was just like, I got to get this Inferno. While I might lose my life, I'm still happy with the trade. So WE are able to trade objective for kill in that small exchange.
957 able to come out with the Righteous Glory now. A few more items that'll be coming into play once those teleports are back up. MMD is just making sure the wards he will be placing can't be circumvented by a few blast cones here. Great warding from WE throughout the river. They got their vision wards at least on that position. Kind of tells the story that they are happy to try and protect those as well. Focus to the bot side for WE. Flash Wolves come back out of base and head mostly towards the top.
Yeah, both supports did make it to censor before the turret goes down, so that itself will not swing the lane. If anything does swing the lane, it's going to be these Berserker Greaves for Mystic. So both AD carries managed to get BF plus 1 damage item, but Mystic with his 40 CS lead got Berserker Greaves. And the movement speed difference between him, Betty, and Sword Art is going to be so monumental in denying more minions off the wave, making it so Betty can't even hit the wave until it reaches the turret, and giving more time for Mystic to hit the turret as they're trying to take this one down.
There's that pull through. Mystic now in a big, big trouble. Featherstorm comes out. Betty actually gets pushed to the right side from Monsoon, but that's the heal for Mystic. Wild growth onto Betty. They may be able to take him down, but the hits come in from Ben, and now they're on to Sword Art. Another kill picked up in that lane. Condi there just in time.
Betty played that as well as he possibly could have. He came so close to getting the kill down onto Mystic, but then Condi comes in to save the day. Great Gragas ultimate to knock Betty back, secure the double kill, and WE get their first tower of the game.
And he buys an Infinity Edge to add insult to injury if you're Betty and Sardar. That was the time where they needed to stand strong against Mystic, and as you mentioned, finally got the roots onto Mystic, got him multiple times.
We'll see it again.
Actually, because Mystic's not moving down the same way he was prior, and also get him in the turret. Barrier with shield.
Yeah. Betty also used his ulti over the trap too to dodge that. And look at how close he is. 2 more hits, 1 more hit might have been enough. Oh, the shield did come up just in time
shield
for Ben.
cycled back on cooldown as well as Mystic free hitting the whole time. So maybe didn't even need Connie to come in there, but incredibly close.
Another fight towards the top side. They are not stopping. Relentless fights left and right as Ben goes down. Not enough shields for that one. Karsa very, very low.
I mean,
Gets away.
Flash Wolves knows exactly what Team WE wants to do.
Yeah.
And Team WE is brute forcing it. But Karsa was there first. Condi wasn't there to match. The ultimate was down from Team WE. So they're actually going a little bit faster than they should because their setup doesn't quite justify it.
On to Maple in the mid lane. Remember, everything was just blown as Xie dove under the turret and they chomp down onto Maple to take him down.
Righteous Glory already complete. WE957 does use the flash, but I don't. It was clearly was
Whoa, MMD coming in. Maybe not. I wanted to finish that one. Nobody else is there to help him. He gets out alive. Maybe to get out as he limps out. 17 seconds onto Maple, so nobody was even going to be coming in from anywhere for that.
Yeah, and it's almost spooky how similar this game is to last game Team WE played, where you remember, they take that bottom lane turret first, then the top laner roams to mid during the swap to gank the mid laner and get turret pressure. They crack the mid lane turret before you expect to during the cycle. I really love how Team WE has drilled this, and they're doing it twice in a row. Flash Wolves knows most of what's going, but they were not ready for that tweak to it where the top laner goes mid.
You know, and one thing that we haven't even mentioned yet was the fact that coming into the game, we were like, MMD picking this Shen maybe could act as a counter to the bottom lane plays that Team WE are trying to make. I'm not sure why MMD didn't use his ulti down into the bottom lane. He did use it mid to try and keep Maple alive, but that Shen ulti could have swung that whole exchange back in the favor of Flash Wolves, and it just kind of makes you wonder what the value of this pick was, because Flash Wolves, they're yet to really optimize MMD.
A BF sword also picked up by Xie as he comes out of base, which means these fights are only going to continue happening. Mystic looking to get that Infinity Edge damage down here with his team behind him, and they are just kind of running Flash Wolves around the top side of this map. Flash Wolves know they are going to have to defend something soon. It's just, when does WE pull the trigger? They have been relentless.
I feel like WE are already pulling the trigger, right? So we get to look back at the gank up top lane. Karsa using his ulti to dodge out from the knocker of the Janna Q there. They're able to get a bit of vengeance for themselves, but we also have to move back towards the mid lane as Maple. He did his best, but he used his flash in the earlier exchange against Xie. He couldn't buy enough time for the Shen to get in. He gets immediately obliterated.
Yeah, the early Righteous Glory as well from 957, making the global pressure answered. The reason MMD used the Shen ultimate there rather than bottom lane is because of the cooldown from the prior fight they had. The Dragon Pit, a very long early game cooldown, and in the current meta, oftentimes fights aren't happening frequently enough for that to matter, but with the way Team WE is pushing the pace, they're actually taking advantage of those Shen ultimate windows.
Maple returns back to mid. They finally have wards to keep him safe, at least from everything that's happening from this top side. Condi wants to be there because that's where his bottom lane is now, and they keep this siege going. And it looks like they'll put a lot more protection there as well. Just a Cloud Drake on the bottom, so we'd expect to see Rift Herald getting a little bit of love here along with this top side turret. Pushing up just about half health down. Maple makes himself present as well. Flag and drag out. It looks like WE is just ready for a little guerrilla warfare here. Try to find some summoners to make this fight even more in their favor.
Yeah, just trying to get priority in as many lanes as possible so they can keep going faster and faster here, because there's still a world where they don't have this ultra insane late game team composition. Caitlyn's nerfs were very meaningful. That's why she dropped out of the meta. You need to take as much advantage of this early turret push as you possibly can.
Well, MMD seemed to be a little caught out. Valkyrie over the wall. A few more shots should be able to take him down, but it actually is 957. He takes seconds on that one.
957 enjoying a bit of ninja brunch. Is able to add another stack to his list of stacks. List, consumption, I don't know. Either way, it's going to result in a Rift Herald going in favor of Team WE. The pressure will just continue to mount. Another significant gold lead in their favor. Not quite as fast as their game versus TSM, but still just as dominant.
Yeah, second champion nom he has had, so he's already stacked up 6. That's the max you can get from minions or monsters. He only gets bigger now by chomping down on the major objectives or on champions for the kill. So 8 stacks already, 18 minutes into the game.
Gotta feel pretty good. Shelly towards the top side, helping out WE just a little bit. Remember, the use of that Rift Herald was taking down an inhibitor turret last time. But you can still see the pace of the game in favor of Team WE.
Oh yeah, this is not going as well as it did against CSM. I think Flash Wolves have actually done a lot more in the early game to preempt some of the moves by Team WE, but they are still falling fairly far behind the pace, 5,000 gold.
Yeah, looking at that, 30, is it gonna crest 35.5 to 29.4. And we see 3 turrets in the favor of WE. After that happened, they took down a few more turrets, so their spike in gold is also a little slowed in this game, but they're still finding their openings.
Yeah, and they can still siege with these two composition. It's just a little bit different. Like the Jace poke is a much more early game spike poke than the Corki poke. Much like the Cho'Gath and the Rumble, just have very different functions in team fights. But they're using 957 extremely well this game as a ganker with the Righteous Glory on Cho'Gath.
Yeah. Roaming Cho. Oh yeah. The dinosaur on a mission. Now, Team WE already 3-1. We talked about what it means to them getting that 4-1 position. It doesn't quite mean that they've locked in that quarterfinal spot. There's still the possibility of a tiebreaker depending on how they play against Misfits, which I believe is at the very end of the day.
You're correct.
Mystic now going for a 1v1.
Wild goes on to Betty. Cass is going to slow them down, which means Mystic hits more of his shots and Peacemakers. And the teleport comes in. It looks like they are just going to go ahead and pressure this one. They may not know that Xie is going to be there. He stops his teleport to higher in the top lane.
There's no flash on MMD. Mystic, he's going for the chase.
Xie now going to come up from mid, just going to Valkyrie over the wall and get his hands into this pie. He stays. They're pushing mid lane a little bit. Nice shockwave to stop the fight, but Flash Wolves has to use so much with Team WE still knocking on that front door. And the final shots in for MMD. 40 seconds on the clock so far. It looks like mid turret could be Team WE's.
And all their stuff is used defensively. WE had to use almost nothing right there. Now they just get to 5v4 siege this turret with the giant 9-stack Cho'Gath in front.
Bot lane and top lane are nowhere to be seen for minions, so this is all about mid for Team WE. That's where their focus is. It was for Maple. Now they're on to Condi with a bit of a mistake here. They greed past the inhibitor turret, thinking they have it. And it looks like they lose one. Mystic very close to going down as well. A nice return on to Maple. And he gets chomped alive. 957 is connecting with each one of these.
Fantastic pick there from Caster, using the ultimate to punish Condi, and then using the EQ combo to get out of his own ulti so that he doesn't end up getting caught himself. The problem is that big stack Cho'Gath that's able to just walk up and nom down onto the Flashless Maple. They end up trading 1-for-1, but Flash Wolves are able to successfully hold on to their base.
Yeah, that was probably over-ambitious by Team WE when you consider that dive by Condi into the Lulu and the Jarvan. It was a suicide mission and they couldn't get that much off of it, but the Cho'Gath is such a strong frontliner for them this game. 957 is playing so well. Now a 10-stack Cho'Gath under 22 minutes into the game. Watch one more time. Condi just missed.
Yeah, he missed. And just watch Caster here as well. He's going to get knocked up. Uses the EQ to not only knock up Mystic, but also dodge out from the knockup. And then you think, oh, Mystic, he takes a lot of damage here. He could lose his life. Forced to use both summoner spells. And then this is where Maple, unfortunately, meets Optimize.
If there was another dissonance there coming in from Maple, that would have been a very dead Mystic. Understanding the cooldowns, they're just getting lucky in that sense, but they get out alive. Nobody has the summoners they had going into that fight. That's what starts to make these fights with core items a little bit more dangerous. It comes down to that vision and the positioning much, much more. 6-3 here, coming in 4 turrets for Team WE as again they capitalize on the macro of the game. Now see if they can put the objectives and the fights in their favor continuously.
Yeah, but when we keep talking about the damage difference of Mystic and the enemy AD carries, it is him, but it's also his team. He is so good at getting his, and WE is so good at stopping the enemy team from playing around their carry.
Good punch out. We get the Shen ultimate out of that as well. And it looks like Stand United will be down along with that teleport. It's going to have to be a topside stay for MMD as they lose pressure towards that bot. And 957 and the rest of the team just control everything in the jungle right now. It's going to be hard for Flash Wolves to find a way in.
WWE, they're setting up nicely around the Baron. They've got good river control. Flash Wolves feel it started.
MMD can take a few hits. That's his job, but can he get out before it's too much? The chomp down, but the final shot from Mystic to clean that one up. And Team WE again gains control of the map.
Yeah, he's just not nearly tanky enough. Ninja Tabi and his Spectre's Cal, the villain Hydra, he's getting shredded by the two of them. 1,277 damage is what Feast would have done if he hadn't used it onto MMD there. That's what it would do to Baron.
Betty GA back and forth. And it looks like the barrier is now down for him. Flashes up for Betty if he does need to get into a sticky situation there. Team WE working on the Baron at 4,500 health. Karsa just on the outside. His flag and drag is used with the smite being up. So they are out. They pull back and they try to get whatever push they can on the mid lane.
Team WE a little bit separated there, but it was mainly Xie trying to keep mid pushed up, while 957 was just tanking up the Baron. Condi was there to provide assistance for Xie, but regardless, Flash Wolves can't punish. They did not have Shen available to help them, and this is how all of that kicked off.
Yeah, Team WE is just dominating. MMD face checks at the start because he doesn't know where Baron is, but this is another lack of coordination from Flash Wolves, right? He's walking in there, and what is he hoping to have happen, right? Is he hoping to see them at Baron and be safe because head of Betty?
He is. Extremely strong right now, but so is the entire lineup of Team WE. 9,000 gold ahead at only 25 minutes into the game. Very similar to what they were able to do against TSM. And you have to imagine that from here on out, throughout the rest of the tournament, I don't think they're going to get Caitlyn again.
I mean, at least in Game 3, there's so many other priority bans, but maybe they push Caitlyn into that tier. That means you're going to give him Xayah, Trist, Kog, or Twitch, right? There's so many other things.
Exactly.
But the strategy itself is working so well. It is centered around the Caitlyn, requires the team to play around it. Clearly something WE has pulled out today that is working great.
And something that we talked about at the start of the day, Jack, with regards to Team WE, is that out of the 4 teams in this group, in wins, it was this team that looked the most convincing. They were the team that the other team should have been afraid of, and they're looking to end things now.
Flag and drag into the fight. Karsa not going to live for long here, but doing what he can as they trade 1-for-1 to start. Betty on the outside pulls through Xie and 9-5 for the stun, but the turret goes down and they have nothing to hide under but the damage of Team WE. 26 minutes in, the base is broken, and MMD stays alive from the ace of the hole.
Trade 1-for-1, but get it. Mystic is ambitious, trying to get hits on this turret. The whole team is 957 and Xie teleporting back in, but it is 4v4 without minions.
Got to teleport to that minion to keep it alive. A little extra damage on the turret. Everything they can to break the willpower and the momentum that Flash Wolves has been trying to find throughout the entire game. The Nexus turrets in the eyes of Team WE. 26.5 minutes into the game. Never faltering from game to game here in week 2 of the group stages, and it looks like they're going to try to pick up another win without leaving the base. Flash Wolves has something else to say, but they lose Karsa as soon as he comes back up. Xie is working a 2v1 situation around the Nexus by himself as the rest of the team goes for seconds around the base, and they are staying for the long haul.
Mystic is able to get a bunch more